A high-profile trial, the man accused of murdering a tech executive in San Francisco, begins next week.
New court filings from both the defense and the prosecution are starting to give us a better idea into how each side plans to argue their case.
Lauren Tom spoke to the defense attorneys today about how they hope to win over that jury. Lauren.
Yeah, hey guys, we've known the defense plans to argue their client acted in self-defense, and we got more details about that argument today. You may remember Nima Momeni. He's accused of stabbing CashApp founder Bob Lee in the early morning hours of April 4th, 2023 in the East Cut neighborhood. The two were seen leaving Momeni's sister Kazar's apartment building before the stabbing. The defense claims Momeni was, quote, forced to stand his ground after what they call a, quote, flash of recent aggression from Lee. Details they say will come out in trial. They also argue that their client didn't believe that he had fatally wounded Lee.
There's evidence, tangible evidence, that will show that Nima did not believe that Bob Lee was fatally injured. And if you look at the weapon itself, I mean, the paring knife, the blade's really small, you know? And imagine, I mean, the uncontroverted evidence, the video shows Bob Lee gingerly walking straight up Main Street.
Now, the prosecution paints a picture of Momeni as a, quote, overprotective brother who was already aggravated by an incident hours earlier involving his sister, who had consumed the drug GHB, also known as a date rape drug, that was supplied by another man. In their filing, the prosecution says Momeni aggressively questioned Lee over video about what happened. Angered by that altercation, they say Momeni drove Lee to a secluded area beneath the Bay Bridge and stabbed Lee 3 times with a kitchen knife. Prosecutors say that knife matches a set found in Kazar Momeni's apartment. But the defense team tells me their client's behavior in the hours leading up to the stabbing is in line with any concerned family member.
One of their instances that they use is that he didn't want a drug dealer selling his sister drugs. I think if that's overbearing, I think that's very misplaced. You know, you have any family member, a father, a mother, a brother, a sister, that has concern for their sister in terms of drug consumption and whether or not a drug dealer should be selling drugs to his sister. And then they use that as some sort of springboard to say he's so overbearing, he's so protective. It really is, it's something that I think is a stretch.
Now, the prosecution says they also have video gathered during surveillance of Momeni in the days after his arrest that shows him reenacting the stabbing in the parking lot of his former attorney's offices in Burlingame. The prosecution declined to speak to us ahead of the trial, but in their filing, they describe the video as saying, quote, the defendant makes 3 stabbing gestures with his hand, 2 to the chest of Mr. Headley and 1 to the side, and then makes an overhead throwing gesture. That gesture referring to throwing a knife away. But the defense is seeking to get this video dismissed, citing it was a confidential conversation that was had under attorney-client privilege. The defense team tells me they are seeking an acquittal in this case, but county prosecutors say Momeni is facing 26 years to life if convicted. Pretrial hearings where all of this will be decided by the presiding judge begins tomorrow. We can expect jury selection to begin sometime next week.
Oh, it's going to be interesting. I know you're going to stay on top of it. Lauren Toms, thanks so much.